From start to finish, the Rays wrote the script, and the A's, well, they just read along. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney. One name, all passion, zero filter. This isn't just a podcast. It's a movement. We're stacking chips. We're building a dynasty and making noise while the rest of the league sleeps on Vegas's future powerhouse. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So do me a favor and punch that subscribe button wherever you are following the show. This episode is brought to you in part by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. Got an exciting show in store for you today. There was an article that came out a few days ago of the whole new thing that's going on with regard to Major League Baseball and the sell the team movement. Is this good? Is this bad? I'm thinking about expanding on it more tomorrow with an episode on its own, but I want to talk about it a little bit tonight. And do you guys feel that fans are more entitled than ever before? Are fans entitled? We'll talk about that later. The A's can't really put anything together right now. The roster isn't deep. It's young. The future is bright. There's no question about it. But for most fans like myself, I want to win now. What changes need to be made to this roster? What realistically can we count on for 2026? What is sitting in the minor leagues? What's our pitching staff look like? We touched on it a bit last night. I want to get a little bit more in depth about what our 2026 roster looks like, what options we have, and where we will be after the next segment. In about 10 minutes, we'll talk about that. First, tonight, the Rays came out swinging in Game 3, and the A's defense helped them along the way. JT Ginn's first batter of the game, Chandler Simpson, had a hell of a series. All of a sudden, this kid looked like an absolute weapon. He led off the game with a bloop shot to left, and then a botch pickoff from Ginn to Soderstrom let Simpson race to second. What you would think was a routine fly ball to left field that Cortez just simply didn't play like a major leaguer. He caught it flat-footed, allowed Simpson to tag up and advance to third. Still at that point, we still had a shot. 2 outs. We got Yandy Diaz to go down swinging. We had 2 outs with a runner on third. And it seemed like the whole game was decided at this point. Josh Lowe ripped a ground rule double down the right field line, making it 1-0. Caminero followed up with an absolute shot coming off the bat at 112.3 miles per hour into the left center field gap for another run. Jake Magnum lined an RBI single for a 3-0 lead. And the inning kept spiraling, man. A walk, a double steal, and then a wild throw by Langoliers let Magnum score. 4-0 at a blink of the eye. Kim was plunked, and then Tristan Peters lined out to end the frame. Rays had set 9 men to the plate. And you just knew with Drew Rasmussen on the mound, the A's were going to have a tough go of it. We needed JT Ginn to have one of those outings, and he didn't. For as much as I like JT Ginn and for as much potential I think he has and as much movement his ball does have, it needs to get to the point where, hey, JT, I love the potential. Now you're going to have to start delivering. He had the same type of outing last time in Baltimore. He gave up the 3 in the first, settled down after that. And you see the potential of JT Ginn. Happy Wednesday, Jesus. Hope all's well, bud. There needs to come a point in time where our pitchers start pitching. And while I like JT Ginn, if he's not going to get the job done, there needs to be some sort of change, or somebody else needs to be given a shot in order to get things going. Again, and it went right to the second inning. Second inning, same thing. Chandler Simpson, that guy continues to make things happen. Why the Rays ever sent him down in the first place, I don't know. He legs out an infield single. And then Brandon Lowe hits a bomb into left center that still may be going. 6-0. Just like that. With Drew Rasmussen on the hill. And Drew Rasmussen was in control. Hose Harris may have opened some highs. I've been talking about Hogan Harris for a while, G-Dub. If you see in the offseason, I haven't had him performing as one of my top 5 spring training performers. He was good last year. Hogan Harris, I'm shocked, hasn't gotten one start this year. You look at what he's done for the last 2 years. It is crazy. It is crazy how Hogan Harris has been handled. Ginn hasn't looked the same. I mean, Ginn really has been the same type of pitcher all year, Vague. You know, I mean, I don't know when there was a stretch when JT Ginn has looked exceptionally well, where we could say he hasn't looked the same. He had the same type of, he had a great outing, maybe his best against the Orioles, but again, still gave up 3 runs in the first. Sure, he retired the next 15 of 16. He looked great after that. But after that, since when? I mean, since Baltimore, you know, he pitched against the D-backs at home, 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 4 runs, walked 5. So I don't know really when JT Ginn has had a stretch. This has been the JT Ginn we've kind of seen all year long. Sure, he had a nice outing in Houston, went 6 innings, probably his best of the year. 6 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs. But that's about it, man. That's about it. That's the only complete outing he's had where he's actually been locked down. Against the Rangers, 5 innings, 5 hits, sure, 1 run. You could see potential with JT Ginn. I've been high on JT Ginn. I still am. But there needs to come a point where it's like, hey, you can't be having, you know, one good outing and one outing where you just completely take the team out of the game, which is what seems to be the deal with JT Ginn right now. Has the vibe gotten any better in Sacramento? There's been some loophole to get A's in the Aviators Park until the new. I hope so, man. Me too, Chris. Me too. I heard the same sell the chant campaign tonight. I don't think the vibe has gotten better at all in Sacramento. Be honest with you, I want them out of Sacramento. I wish they started in Vegas. And it sucks for fans like, hey, listen, I enjoy going to the games in Sacramento. I know Senior, who comes on here, enjoys the game in Sacramento, but it's the Bay Area as far as fans, it's a disease. And I do want to talk a little bit later about our fans. Do fans feel too entitled? It's an honest question. I've never seen anything like this in the years of all my life of watching sports. Of the sell the team, teams aren't trying. Is there any legitimacy to that? Lawrence Butler, was nice to see him hit a bomb, but when you get a guy like Drew Rasmussen in there, it needs to be a pitcher's duel. You got to duel with him, and you got to try to eke out a 2-1 victory. You can't count on trying to outslug a team with Drew Rasmussen on the hill. It needs to be a grind type of game, and it wasn't. It was the Rays right off the bat putting up runs, and that was a wrap, man. That was a wrap. Drew Rasmussen right now he's just too good of a pitcher. And once that first inning hit, I mean, it was ball game. It was ball game. When I come back after this break, I want to talk about, listen, I understand how young this team is, and I understand the future of this team is bright, but I don't want to give up the next 2 years and say, okay, let's just wait for Vegas in 2028. No, I don't want to do that, and I know you guys don't want to do that. Let's figure out what kind of expectations we have for next year and what our hopes are. Let's talk about the 2026 roster a little bit more in depth coming up next. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they are worth, whether it's 401k, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categories of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I linked all my accounts to Monarch and immediately spotted a few subscriptions I wasn't even using. Canceling those alone saved me money every month. Monarch makes it simple to review my finances with my partner. We can both see budgets, goals, and spending activity in one place. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, guys, let's go through next year's potential starting pitching and pitching staff. We'll go pitching and hitting. All right, here's what we got as far as pitching for 2025. Okay, I'm going to explain to you how I did this. All right, so you have on the top row, right? Now, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. You can have yours, whatever it may be. And you could put in a few other guys in there that you think should be in there and so forth. But let me explain to you exactly how I have this worked so you're following along. And for the people only on audio, I'll do my best to describe it as well. On the top row, I have my 4 pitchers that I feel will be in the starting rotation. Luis Severino. I got Jeffrey Springs. I got Jacob Lopez. And I got Jack Perkins. On the second row, I feel that there are 5 guys right there that are going to fight for that 5th job or somewhere on a spot to be in the starting rotation. Those 5 guys are, from left to right, is JT Ginn. We got Luis Morales. We got Gunnar Hoglund. We got Brady Basso. And we got Mason Barnett. Okay? Now, obviously, there's some other guys that you could put on this list as well. I didn't include a guy like Gage Jump. I didn't include a guy like Jamie Arnold. You know, obviously, I want to see that we're talking about opening day roster 2026. Next row is relievers. I got Elvis Alvarado, Michael Kelly. I got Hogan Harris, Tyler Ferguson, and Sean Newcomb. On the row below, Grant Holman. I have Osvaldo Bideau. I have who's the lefty we just went today? Why am I missing his name? It is, Ben Bowden. So from left to right, Grant Holman, Ben Bowden, Osvaldo Bideau, Mikel Otanez, and then Eduardo Nunez, the kid from San Diego that we picked up. We got to fill in 13 spots. We have to fill in 13 spots. You got your 5 starters, right? And then you have your 8 relievers. That's who we're looking at. That's who we're looking at right now. Let's go to the hitting or our position players. Okay? Same thing. Top row is going to be your DH and outfielders. How I got it right now is I got Brett Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler, and JJ Bleday. And the next 5 below that, I got Denzel Clark, Carlos Cortez, Colby Thomas, Henry Bolte, and Junior Perez. Right now, how I have it, I have Soderstrom in left. I have Butler and Denzel platooning in center, and I have JJ Bleday in right. Next row is infield. Got Nick Kurtz, Jacob Wilson, Daryl Hernandez. I have for right now starting at second. I have Max Muncy, and then I have my catchers duo of Shea Langoliers and Willie McIver. People I think that are going to compete for an infield position spot is going to be, of course, Brett Harris, Zach Geloff, Daniel Susac, Tommy White, Max Schumann's the guy in the middle. So from left to right, Brett Harris, Zach Geloff, Max Schumann, Daniel Susac, Tommy White is who I currently have with regard to our roster. I mean, I don't know. Is this good enough to win 83, 84 games next year to make some sort of run? I don't think we're going to spend much this offseason, guys. I really doubt we're going to spend a whole lot of money with regard to payroll and where this team's going. That's my personal opinion. But is it good enough? Is it good enough? What changes do you guys want to see? What guys do you want to see come up? That's who I have right now. Again, while the future is exciting, I don't want to give up on 2027. Excuse me, 2026 and 2027. And like Chris said earlier, I want the A's out of Sacramento. Like yesterday. My A's, what's up, bud? They don't truly believe Harris is a starter. Honestly, if 75 plus wins is realistic, Sevy needs to return. Springs will be fine. Lopez is him. Ginn Perkins is, I don't think Perkins is experimental at all. I think Perkins is really, really good. Harris, they haven't even given him a shot to be a starter, though. They gave him a shot last year to be a starter, and he was really good. This year, they haven't given, he hasn't made one start this year, Hogan Harris. With how disruptive and how bad their pitching is, for him not to get one start is crazy. I mean, let's see if he's gotten one start this year. Hogan Harris, nope, 32 games, not one start. Craziest thing I've ever seen. Craziest thing. I don't know if Sevy's going to return. You know, you had Jacob Wilson and Denzel going on the IL for 10 days. Denzel still has a rehab assignment this Friday. Jacob just started getting ground balls today. He still needs to go on a assignment as far as rehab. Sevy, I don't know. Something in the body language after coming off IL. You're talking about Ginn? Ginn hasn't really been good, though, Vague. He's had like 3 decent starts all year. So I don't know if maybe there's a change in body language, maybe. But as far as his performance, probably the last 3 starts has been his best performances of the year. So he hasn't been great. I think he has great stuff, and I think he can be great. But, yeah, I don't know, man. Frustrating a little bit. I was hoping for a big outing from Ginn today, and he had those damn 2 outs in the first inning. Also, although this line fell to bad habits when falling behind early, is defeated mentally. Yeah, but true. But we're also going against Drew Rasmussen, right? He's one of the best right-handers in baseball. I think he has an under 3 ERA for the whole season. He's been dealing to the whole league. It's tough. It's tough. Rasmussen's good. We knew that coming in. You don't beat Rasmussen. You don't beat Rasmussen by trying to win a 7-5 ball game. Vegas, Bryce Miller, Martini, you're high on Martini. I know you are, man. I know you're high on Martini. But Martini's such a journeyman. He's been around. 270. I don't know. He'll get a shot next year. Hernandez will place. I agree with that, Bill. No question. As that super utility guy, yeah. And for me, did you guys see the play Brett Harris made tonight in Vegas? Ridiculous. Yeah, we have control on Lopez. I know until at least 30, 31 or something. What's up, Rocket Man? Same old days, no consistency in pitching or hitting. These are one of those games, Rocket, where you're going against an ace like Drew Rasmussen, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. I mean, he's shoved on against everybody. This is the type of game you got to try to win 3-2. You know what I mean? You don't win tonight's game 6-4. You don't win tonight's game 5-4. You got to grind. It has to be zeros or a 1-run game going into the 6th, and you try to get to the bullpen late. Once that first inning happened, it was done. Once the second inning happened, it was even more done. You're not going to string together a group of hits, a string of hits against a guy like Rasmussen. You're not. Rasmussen's a legitimate ace. He's a legitimate ace. We don't have that dominant guy who can battle. You're right. We don't. Not many teams do, though, G-Dub, right? Not many teams do. Rasmussen's one of the better pitchers in all of baseball. Do I feel like we had a chance to win it? Yeah. I was hoping. But we need a better outing out again, man. Was Kotz giving Kurtz? Yeah, he was. He was just giving him the day off. Kurt's been a little bit of a mini, I wouldn't say slump, but he's cooled down. So, yeah, I do think he was just giving Kurtz a day off. Rasmussen's not easy at all. Guys, listen, I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I want to talk about this sell the team movement, or if you guys don't want to do that, we'll talk a little bit more baseball. I'll leave it up to you guys based on the questions that come in or comments. Guys, our honest question, are fans in sports, in baseball especially, feel like they are more entitled than ever? We have this sell the team movement, right? Sell the team movement now is everywhere. Everything is sell the team. Even the Cardinals are supposedly taking place in it. To me, it's nutty. I mean, growing up, I never knew who owners were. Now owners seem more prevalent in sports than they ever were. All we talk about is the owners. God forbid you have a couple bad years in a row with sell the team. Have heard anything about the strike coming next year? I have not, man. You know, that's another thing, right? They don't want the salary cap. What I would like to see, guys, what I would like to see is I would like to see the lower level guys get paid a little bit more. We have a very small percentage of guys getting these max contracts. I don't know. You know, what I've heard, I've heard that it is coming. Wow, that would be kind of crazy if it does. It would be disappointing too. I wouldn't be surprised. It's Chris talked about it earlier about the A's going to Vegas. I don't know if that's doable, but I want the A's out of Sacramento so bad. It is turned into one of the worst sports towns I've ever seen. And that's no. And the A's, hey, listen, let's put this, and the A's haven't done themselves any favors. The A's have not done themselves any favors. By not taking Sacramento's name, that was kind of stupid. But at the same time, like tonight, I think it was the third, fourth inning, some sell the team chance. I mean, don't even go to the game. Don't even go to the game. But it's disappointing what Sacramento's turned into as far as that stuff goes. And as far as I'm concerned, it's like, why go to the game, man? It's fine. I get it in a number of ways. What for me is what's confusing about this whole thing, and I hate to have a big rant on it, but okay, let me get this straight. So the A's are leaving Oakland. The A's fans never showed up to games. That's a fact. And the reason they didn't show up to the games was because the A's did not reinvest in the team and let free agents go, didn't spend on payroll. Fact as well. And they want the A's to sell the team. This is not new. This has been going on for so time. So why are the Oakland fans so pissed off that they're leaving? Anyone answer that question? The A's never wanted to go to the games. Fans never went to the games because the ownership would not reinvest in the team. But they're pissed off they're leaving. All right. UFC dropping pay-per-views, MLB adopting the salary cap. Two things where fans come first. The media and player union is going to cry. I think what the UFC did was absolutely genius. I tell you what, for me, I used to be big time in the UFC and watch it all the time. Got tired of paying the money. This will get me back into watching it. Well, imagine having a team that embarrassed to say they were playing like just call it for. Hey, like I said, Jordan, I said it. The A's did not do themselves any favors. 1,000% agree. But with that being said, if I felt hatred towards that franchise, like, hey, listen, and if you do, good for you. I have no problem with that. Why the hell are you going to the game? Why are you going to the game? That's the question. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, Jordan. You're right. You're right. A's didn't do themselves any favors, man. Not even a little bit. It was a joke. They went out of their way not to take the Sacramento name. They didn't do anything for Sacramento. But Sacramento fans have a historic history of fandom. And what I knew about Sacramento fans is just don't go, man. Ignore it. When you're asked about it, bash it. That's fine. But why go to the games? Why go to the games with something negative? Because when you're at the game, it stops being about the owner and starts being about the players. I live in Sac, not the fans' fault. Listen, Rocket Man, agree. And like I just said, the fans going to the game with any type of negative attitude, it's on them. It's on them. Not showing up, I'm good with it. A's deserve that. But once you decide to scan that ticket and go into the stadium, it stops being about the owner and starts being about the players at any level. At any level. I'm cool with fans not showing up. If they drew 4,000 fans a game, A's deserve that. No problem with that. But when you go in the game and sell the team and this and that, that's where I disagree. Once you enter the stadium, it needs to be about the players at any level. High school, junior college, Division I, Division II, MLB, whatever you're watching. You want to bash them in the media or whatever it may be outside? Do it. Griff, not sure what that means. Carlos, true. Nick L, can we put Ginn back in the bullpen and have Newcomb? I don't think Newcomb's a starter, Nick. I don't think he has that type of gear. I can't tell you the last time Newcomb started. He's had a hell of a year, but Newcomb's not a starter. Maybe an opener? Maybe. Has to be hard for local Sacramento fans to have some of the team, which they know. G-Dub, I have zero criticism for any fan who decides they don't want to be an A's fan. Zero. And for any person living in Sacramento, I have zero issue with you not going to the game or the Sacramento fans not showing up. Zero issue. Don't blame them a bit. A's have not done themselves any favors. But when you enter the stadium, and this mostly, me bringing this up, mostly has to do with the sell the team chants that were in the stadium today. Once you enter the stadium, and this has something to do with the sell the team movement, once you enter a stadium and be a spectator of the sport, it can't be about the owner anymore. It has to be about who's playing the game, the support for the players playing. They haven't done anything. Outside the gates, all good. All good. And like I said, no issues whatsoever. Hey, Sacramento fans are awesome. And they don't want to support them, no issue. Brody's saying, I just watched my first Mason Miller inning. As Padres shows, it's us versus them, meaning current A's fans against the Oakland diehards. I lost all respect for Brody. Brody is making a whole lot of money on this deal, man. Brody is making a living on this deal. He showed his views the other day, and it was unreal what his show had. And he has based it, his views is based on one topic. Basically the whole hatred for John Fisher. He has made so much money off this whole topic. Why would he change? But yeah, it's working. It's working. Used to go to the games at Coliseum all the time. Have it to one here and don't blame me. Hey, Rocket Man, don't blame me, man. Don't blame me. Don't blame you one bit. I hear you, man. I've always said this. I've always said A's ownership has always been out of touch with reality. They don't get it, man. They don't get it. They never have. It is what it is. As a fan, you got to choose what you want to do. For me, it's always been about what's on the field. And you can't make any argument as far as what we've seen on the A's, from the A's on the field has been arguably the best baseball in the last quarter century. There's, as far as success, it's there. Depending on what you define success as. Success for me was the postseason. Heartbreak in the postseason, obviously. But yeah, I get it. I get it. I wouldn't even go to a game if they gave me free tickets. Don't blame me, Nick. Hey, Nick. Don't blame you, bud. I have no issue about anybody not going to a game or not supporting the A's. I just say, hey, don't ruin the experience for somebody else that wants to be there. Or that kid who's going to his first ball game that all of a sudden is hearing, sell the team chants or negative type of stuff. That's my point. I have no issue with anybody not supporting the team. No issue whatsoever. But once you go in the gates, it needs to be about the game. I hate to say it, but thing the next 2 seasons? No, it won't be. You're right. Rocket Man. It won't. It won't be at all. It won't be any better at all. Thank you for bringing it back to the game. Like, there is very good ball players on this team. Jordan, yeah, absolutely, man. There's always, like I said, man, it's not me, Nick. Lost all respect for this team when they turn off. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, every cuss word and four-letter type of deal. I mean, come on, man. It's a little ridiculous on the listen. The channel I'm watching here right now, it's not big. Like the Twitter I have. I mean, I've gotten a death threat. You should see the stuff they say about me. It's the craziest thing. So for them not putting on their comments, I don't know. So I could read every 4-letter expletive, every other comment. You know, I don't know. I don't know how you could combat that, right? I don't know. I don't know how you could combat that. So I don't know. That's a tough one. But point being is, when you like I said, when you enter the gates, it needs to be about the game. It needs to be about the game. Politics needs to be left outside. You want to protest, you want to do your thing outside the stadium. Cool. And you know, Rooker said something to comment and that sell the team articles like, hey, I wish the energy was to us. Guys, what do you do though, right? Is there anything we can do with regard to ownership? Can we find, is ownership of a professional franchise, are they public figures? Excuse me. Are they publicly elected officials? They are not. They're a private entity. They can do whatever the hell they want. So as a fan for the A's for so long, am I frustrated? For sure. A lot of things I'm frustrated at. But is there one thing I can do about it? No. Nothing. Not one thing. Not show up to the game? You think Fisher cares if we don't go to the game or not? Or ownership? Come on. I don't know. From AAA to MLB, our 2026 second and third basemen are all about the same talent in right now it is. Right now it is, G-Dub. Yeah. What's the difference between Vegas and SoCal? You tell me. Is that a question or you're going to answer for me, or do you want me to answer what's the difference between Vegas and I don't know. I don't know. What's the difference between Vegas and SoCal? You tell me. Obviously, Vegas is Vegas, right? You got the tourism. You got the corporate sponsors. Gambling, right? Is Vegas going to be a moneymaker? Personally, I think so. Could I be wrong? I sure could. But do I care what Fisher makes? No. Do I care if he loses money? No. I care that there's a good competitive team on the field. I see interviews with these kids do with mainstream media, from Kurtz on Foul Territory to Sody Butler on the MLB Network. When the Oak friends do their thing, I feel a type of way like they are against these kids. Yeah. That's my point. I mean, our fans, like I said, do fans feel entitled? Do fans feel entitled? I've never seen this before in all my years of watching sports. I've never cared about the owner. I've never really cared about payroll. I've cared that we put a competitive product on the field, which we have. That you can't argue with that. There's no arguing there. In the last couple of years, no, it's been tough. But who hasn't had 2-3 years of tough times? But through the A's history, I mean, it's been unbelievable. That's all the thing I care about. I've never cared about payroll. Not one bit, ever. I've never looked, hey, how much are they spending? Fans don't ask the next question. Every fan wants to spend. Spend, spend, spend. They don't ask the next question after spending. Who do you want to get and who do you want to replace? Who do you want to get and who do you want to replace? You look down, up and down free agents that teams have spent on. Anthony Santander with Toronto. You could go down the list. It takes a whole lot of depth and a whole lot of spending to build what the Yankees or Dodgers can do. And again, they're still not guaranteed to win. This year has been a lot of fun and very frustrating at the same time. And what has made it frustrating is what I feel the fans are being entitled to a certain degree. If the product is not competitive, look at the Yankees. One of the highest spent teams in all of baseball. When's the last time they won a championship? Been quite some time. I don't know, guys. Maybe, what is it frustrating at the same time for the A's? For the A's to constantly not re-sign great players? Yeah, it was. But I tell you this, you look at Matt Chapman, who's one of my favorite A's. He's the reason why the Giants are losing. Now, is he the reason? Like, when one of your stars is supposed to be the middle of the order guy and not hitting, yeah, he's a big reason why. And I love Chapman. Point is, you don't know what these players are going to do in the future. I don't know. Something to think about. And there's been a lot of frustration I've had with A's ownership. Good point. Fans outside of here should know who Fisher is. The move to Sacramento, I'll always be confused. It'll never make sense. Nobody will ever convince me that they should have not taken the name Sacramento. Not ever. I will never, ever, ever, ever be convinced that, like, hey, well, they're Las Vegas or this or that. No, it was one of the most stupidest things I've ever seen. And it's what contributed a lot to this year. So there's always a cause and effect, right? The cause of what's going on in the stadium is a cause of ownership. The effect is still the effect of the fans acting like that, but neither here nor there, right? Hey, appreciate you listening to the old rant. And we got the Angels coming in town. 3-game set starting on Friday. Jack Perkins, we're going to find out what he's all about. The roster needs some improvement. We need to get better. Pitching needs to get better. I thought we could count on JT Ginn being that fifth guy. Again, let me put it up real quick. This is what we're looking at as far as pitching for 2026. You got Severino, you got Springs, Lopez, and Perkins, who I have as my top 4. The guys who are fighting for that 5th spot or any type of spot on that top line will be JT Ginn, Morales, Gunnar Hoglund, Brady Basso, and why am I forgetting his name? Mason Barnett. On the next line, you got relievers who I think will be in the bullpen. You got Elvis Alvarado, Michael Kelly, Hogan Harris could easily be a possible starter too. You got Tyler Ferguson. You got Newcomb, who's going to be a free agent in the end of the year. I hope the A's re-sign him. On the next line, you got Grant Holman. You got Ben Bowden. You got Eduardo Nunez, the kid we traded for in the Padres trade. Mikel Otanez and Osvaldo Bido. That's what we're looking at as far as pitching next year. Need Perkins to put up zeros and we are good. Springs will be traded in the offseason. I could see that, Rocket Man. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. I was surprised. Honestly, I was surprised he wasn't traded in the before the deadline, bud. I was surprised he wasn't traded in the deadline. And then we got hitting position players. I got Rooker, Soderstrom. I got Soderstrom in left, Rooker DH. I got Butler and Denzel platooning in center. I got Blade in right. I got competing for outfield positions next year, Carlos Cortez, Colby Thomas, Henry Bolte, who's in AAA, and Junior Perez. Next line, infielders, Kurtz, Jacob Wilson. I got Daryl Hernandez right now at second base. I got Max Muncy at third. I got my catching duo, Langoliers starting, obviously, and Willie McIver backing them up. Fighting for position player spots will be Brett Harris, Zach Geloff, Max Schumann, Daniel Susak, and Tommy White. That's who I got going. So we'll see what happens, fellas. Hey, appreciate you guys listening. And day off tomorrow. I'll check you guys out on Friday. Take care, fellas. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen. For your second listen, check out the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, all season long. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. There you go, fellas. Take care, guys.